Hello, this is Marshallie, and welcome to my garden diary. So, today I continued on my cleanup mission to get the garden free from as much weeds as possible. And today I did from that post right there to there, and then all the way up to here. So, that area there should be weed free and cleaned out, and not only weeds, but there were also some plants, some seedlings that I didn't want to have there, so I got rid of unwanted seedlings. And then the roses that are here that needed to be deadheaded, I deadheaded. So that rose, the white one, they were just really spent and not looking good anymore. So that rose has finished its first blooming for this season, and yeah, it's will rest for a little bit, and then it will start producing more buds. And the one beside it, I just had to take a couple of roses out of it that were not looking good anymore, but that has, yeah, basically I would say in comparison to that one, has really just started. And the one beside it has also finished with the first blooming for this season, and will start growing some more roses again, some buds. And I also started cutting back or pruning away the roses that are spent. There are quite a bit on the big rose bush over there, still going strong, but I started cutting that back because the spent rows were starting to grow seed pods, and that I don't want that, because that is just going to take more energy from the plant, and there were quite a lot of rows there, and that would be quite a lot of seed pods that are not necessary. I don't want that to happen, so I'll start cutting that back, and it will take me a couple of days to get everything done. I'll just cut it back as needed, starting with the most spent ones, and then work on it until all the rows are spent. Okay, but while I was doing the cleanup, I noticed that the clematis, I have two, and they uh, they both started blooming, and the first blooms that they had were quite large. So this is the clematis, the president, and it's first started blooming over a month ago. So the end of May, it started blooming, and the blooms were very, very, very beautiful and large. And so now it's working on its second flush of blooms, but they are, I would say, a fourth of the size of what the first ones were. So those blooms are not looking as big or as nice as the first set of blooms. And I think it might be because I have not been fertilizing this plant. So the foliage is okay, but the blooms are not what I expected them to continue looking like. You can look at the first video, because I only have 2 videos so far with clematis. So in the first video you could see what the blooms look like, and right now it's really, the blooms that are here are not even a shadow of what were there in the first blooming. So what I've done is that I started giving, today I gave this plant some fertilizer. I just use a normal rose fertilizer that I have, because I don't have a special clematis fertilizer, and then I'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. Uh, this clematis is doing what I wanted to do in terms of trailing or going across the fence here, but it's just that the blooms. I mean, it also has quite a bit of buds, so we have some buds there, and then we have some more buds over there that are will be open, but the sizes are, as I said, maybe a fourth or less than a fourth of the size of what the first blooms looked like. So that's a little bit disappointing. But I don't know what's going on with the plant. I'm not an expert at this. I'm just guessing what might be wrong, and then as I said, I gave it some fertilizer today. And then the next clematis I have is the Nike, or the Warsaw Nike over there. And it's the same thing with this too. There are quite a bit of buds. Go up a bit closer to it. It has a lot of buds, but it's also not performing as well as it can. And the blooms are really smaller than they can be. And I'm guessing again that maybe I need to be feeding these a little bit more. They're not getting enough energy to produce bigger blooms. As we can see, it's not a problem with buds because they have quite a bit of flower buds there, but the buds are just so small in comparison to the first bloom that this one had. It was huge. It was like at least 4 times the size of that one. So yeah, I have also given this one some fertilizer today. So I'll just keep fertilizing both of these clematis once per week with a rose fertilizer, and then I'll see if that has something to do with the size of the blooms, because as we can see, there are enough buds on it, so it's not that the plant is not producing flower. It's just that the flowers are just so small. So yeah, I'll keep you updated on that, and I'll see what happens. So yeah, so that's going to be that for this video. The garden is looking good. We have a butterfly over there. All right, so yeah, garden is doing well. Some things better than others. Lots of work with keeping on top of weeds, and yeah, but that's the nature of gardens. So that's going to be it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.